got a work function to go to later on today.
Yeah, I have work meetings today also, man.
Yeah, they're paying us to go hang out at Stoneworks over on Bassy.
Okay, the original one.
Yeah, they are flying some of the big wigs in from San Antonio, and I gotta leave around 5 o'clock from here, head out over there. They're gonna pay for us, so food and drink free. Got a lot of things to talk about today. We'll be talking about Project Marvel.
We do.
What's wrong with Wemby?
Dude, I saw a thing the other day that asked the question, if Wemby's injury is what they say that it is, unless TNT got it wrong, what if he's out a month?
You're going to be coming back to the Christmas game. What's up, Matt Lerma? What's up, Tex-Mex Frank? Matt Lerma, good afternoon. I mean, good morning.
Yeah. Hey, I was here on time.
Yeah. No te cuache Mike today.
Dude, I was listening to a couple of our shows. Pretty good, man. We've had some pretty good shows the past couple of days.
Viewership's gone up too.
Dude, I tell you what, man. I've been listening to our shows. Like, I go for a walk or whatever. You and me and the chemistry that we have.
Pretty good.
Big league, dude. Big league.
Good morning, my Hispanic brothers who love sports. Mike
So, Mike Taylor had mentioned something about AM dial no longer being a thing anymore.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I want to get into that. Okay. Let's talk about that at some point in today's show. Because it's true.
July 26th. What's up, July 26th? What's up, Sam Salinas? Thanks for joining.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio, West Bexar County, also represented. My name is Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. It is a beautiful day here in San Antonio. Joe, you know what today is?
What's today?
Project Marvel, baby. It is Project Marvel Day. Over at City Council, downtown San Antonio, the San Antonio Spurs this morning are going to unveil what they see as the potential future of downtown San Antonio. Transformational is what it's being called. $4 billion price tag, $4 billion with a B dollar price tag. And we're getting bits and pieces as to what it is. But Joe, if you can show my screen real fast. This is the official memorandum for the city of San Antonio. It's a briefing, it says, of conceptual planning and due diligence underway regarding the opportunity to develop a sports and entertainment district in downtown San Antonio. Goes on to say that the proposed sports and entertainment district would be anchored by the expansion of the convention center, improvements to the Alamo Dome, a new event venue for downtown, a convention center hotel, and potentially a new arena for the San Antonio Spurs, where the Institute of Texan Cultures currently sits.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's being protected right now because it's like under one of those laws that they have where it's an antiquity or something like that now.
Yeah.
It's like what is it they call it? Like a landmark.
It's a landmark because
Yeah.
it's the last remaining building since the World's Fair of 1968.
And this is what Project Marvel's being built, the biggest expansion since the 1968 World's Fair.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. That's a long time ago. That was
1968.
I mean, we're talking about nearly 50 years ago, right? So you look at nearly 60 years ago. My God, my math was wrong. So, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because this is transformative for the city of San Antonio if it does happen. And there are going to be different sides of the coin when it comes to this. People who are going to be supportive of it, people who are going to be against it. I have a poll on Twitter right now at MJ Acquired Taste. I just posted this poll about 20, 30 minutes ago saying, are you for it, against it, or does it depend on who pays? And Joe, I understand both sides of the debate. Okay, there's going to be people who are for this because they're like, man, San Antonio really needs to enter the 21st century, right? We really need to modernize what we've got going on. We need to be more than just a tourist town.
More
We
than
need-
just the Riverwalk.
More than just the Riverwalk, more than just the Alamo. We need to have more to offer. There are others who are going to be like, well, I mean, couldn't that money be used for other things? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're asking for new money. They're not asking for old money. And I got into a debate back and forth with MCS General Contracting's Chris Leha
Yeah.
earlier today on Twitter. And I was just basically saying, man, because he was saying he took some offense to what I said about the fact that there are going to be people who are going to complain about potholes. And they're going to be like, that's the number one argument for anything the city ever tries, right? Whether build a new arena, do anything in the city, the number one complaint that you hear, and it's a lazy complaint, which is, well, what about the potholes on this side? We got to fix this and the other. And I'm not saying that this is right, Joe. But what I need people to understand is the city of San Antonio, the mayor, the Bexar
smell a
County
hot
Commissioners
take.
Courts, the Bexar County Commissioners, guess what? They don't care about poor people.
Jeez.
I don't want to sound like Kanye West after Katrina when he says George W. Bush doesn't care about black people. I'm just saying, here's the thing. I don't care if it's San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, wherever. Politicians don't care about poor people, okay, or the working class. They don't, because the tax dollars don't come from there, and because they don't vote in high numbers. That is actual and factual. I'm not saying that it's right, because in a perfect world, what you're doing is you're taking care of all people, right? You live a life that is of morality. You live a life of taking care of your neighbor, whether it be a Christian or what type of religion you follow.
Utopian society.
A society where you love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. You take, that type of thing, right? But that doesn't exist in politics. So if the city of San Antonio doesn't go through with Project Marvel, they're not going to magically take that money and just say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to fix the potholes on the west side, south side, and east side. That's not reality. Joe, there will always be a poor side of town. And right now, the city of San Antonio focuses on the medical center. City of San Antonio focuses on the UTSA area. City of San Antonio focuses on Stone Oak. Because guess what? That's where the money comes from. Follow the money. Follow the money.
The thing, too, is that everybody in the city should have a voice, should have a say. It doesn't matter demographics, none of that stuff. You make money, you don't make money, you're going to be, somehow you're going to wind up paying for this. You're going to be taxed, you're going to vote, something's going to happen to where it's going to cost you a little bit of money to go ahead and enjoy these venues.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're going to be paying extra when you're the hotel motel tax or whatever, however they spin it, we're all going to wind up paying for this some way, somehow in the city. But more than likely, it's going to be coming from tourism, other revenue streams.
Right.
But, at the end of the day, I mean, you look at like Marbach area where we live at, they always say it's Marbach nice.
Yeah.
And Marbach is between, you have Marbach here, you have Ingram up the road. I mean, there's things that are around the area too that they're building, they're expanding. You go up 151 and you're in the Alamo Ranch area, and you have Petrenko that's right next, which is just a better Marbach Road.
Mm-hmm.
But this area is expanding, but it seems like there's not enough things that come over here on this side of town as well. And then you look at the south side of town, and the south side of town's always been lacking, like they were needing bookstores, they're needing things. And there's certain areas of town, I understand what you're saying, where it seems like the money will flow and that you'll have big businesses setting up shop. The city seems to care more about these other areas and forgets about like the east side, the south side, southwest side of town. Even where I grew up, over there in the Valley High, Ray Ellison Road area, there's been little to no growth in those areas.
And there never will be.
Because the city just doesn't seem to care.
There never will be.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I am proud of parts of the south side because Toyota going to the south side, the A&M San Antonio campus out there expanding. There's certain areas of the south side that have actually gotten out of it being poor. San Antonio on the south side there's a revitalization out there that's taken effect the last 15, 20 years, because after Kelly Air Force Base left, right, and Brooks, you thought this whole area was going to die. But the south side reinvented itself, has done a very good job. And part of that is because of city leadership. So I'm not going to say that they don't do anything. But the fact of the matter is that, a lot of San Antonio lives in a bubble, right? San Antonio lives in a bubble because I would say the vast majority of the city doesn't ever leave the city, right? San Antonio is also one of the most segregated cities in the nation. Those who live on the west side typically hang out and stay on the west side. People on the south side typically stay on the south side. East siders stay on the east side. North siders stay on the north side. That's facts, okay? Very rarely do you see any cross-pollination unless you go to some place like Market Square for Fiesta, or it's an event like the rodeo, or it's a Spurs game. There's got to be an event that draws you over, because most people stay on their side of town or don't venture beyond certain areas. I know some people who say, I'll give you an example. We made a joke about Maddie Sky, who formerly of my SA. She used to always say that she doesn't like to go across 410 in a certain direction. I know some people, because she's proud of the South Side. She's Southtown, all that stuff. And she would always say that that's where her area, right?
Yeah, but when I make my money, I'm gone.
Yeah. But there are other people who live on the north side, right? Who would never step foot on the east side or south side. I make a joke of all the time about being the pulse of San Antonio. I don't care where I am in the city. I am comfortable. I don't care if I'm at a barbecue place or a Southern cooking type of place on the east side. I love it. Love going to the east side. I love going to the south side.
My dad lives on the east side off of Pecan Valley.
I love going to the west side. You know what place I don't like going to, Joe? I hate Stone Oak. Dude,
that's your people,
I
man.
avoid Stone Oak like the plague. And it's so funny because
Mike, those are your people, man.
I had breakfast in Stone Oak about 2 weeks ago with my girlfriend and her son and her son's girlfriend. I can't stand Stone Oak. That whole area of Stone Oak Parkway, that part of Huebner, I just don't like it. It just does nothing for me. Don't like it. But I love the east side. I love the west side. I love the south side. Y'all can clown on me and joke on me with me all you want. But that's just the one area of town that I just kind of feel a little bit uneasy in. It's a little uneasy in. So
you're too brown for that side of town, or what are you saying?
No, man. The Stone Oak is a lot of Mexican national money.
I know, man.
A lot of Mexican national money. But the point I'm trying to make is that San Antonio is very insulated in who they are, and we typically stay to our side of towns, right? I have been fortunate because of what I do for a living in finance, and also because I have the second jobs and whatnot, refereeing, whatnot, that gives me ability to make extra money so I can go travel, right?
Yeah.
I had a business trip in the last 12 months. I've had a business trip to Charlotte, North Carolina. I was just in Miami last week visiting my girlfriend's daughter who goes to college over there. I go to Houston a lot. I go to Dallas a lot. I go to Austin a lot. I had a business trip in Philadelphia the past year. I had a business trip in Denver. I went to LA for a business trip. So I tend to have these trips every 2 months or so, and then you sprinkle in a vacation or two. So one of the things is that I see how the other cities live, right? And whenever I say that San Antonio is a poor town, it's because San Antonio is a poor town, right? But I'm not trying to say that in a degrading way. I'm trying to say that in a way that I wish it wasn't so. And part of it is, Joe, is that there's a brain drain that goes on in San Antonio where the smartest leave, the brightest leave. They go to Austin, Houston, Dallas. I look at class of 1995, Holmes High School. The 10, 15, 20 most successful people that I went to high school with, how many of them are here?
Yeah, everybody leaves.
They leave to Dallas. They leave to Austin. Not because they want to leave San Antonio. It's because that's where the opportunity and the jobs are. When I was in Charlotte, Joe, the sports district over there was beautiful. You had the Panthers Stadium. You had where the Hornets play. It's a beautiful district that they have over there. I was surprised that Houston doesn't have a sports district necessarily, because the Toyota Center Stadium where the Rockets play and Minute Maid Park and NRG Stadium are actually separate from each other. They're like miles apart.
Yeah, the one thing that downtown Houston does have is like, I mean, they have a lot of places where you can like go and eat, bars, parks. I mean, they got a lot of things going on there. In Houston, and their downtown area is really nice. So, I mean, San Antonio needs to catch up when you're comparing San Antonio to the bigger cities like Houston. You have the bigger city like Dallas, for example.
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio is a little bit behind the times. There's no questioning that. And that was kind of the appeal for the locals here, like myself, is that it kind of has that small town feel. People kind of like that where it's at. But if you want real growth to happen, which San Antonio is one of the biggest cities in the nation, you have to go ahead and spend a little bit of this money, which is what this Project Marvel is entailing, so you can compete with these bigger cities.
And I think the ideal one to look at is Philadelphia, because when I was in Philadelphia last year, you have 3 stadiums that are connected. You had a Lincoln Financial Field where the Eagles play. You have Citizens Bank Park, it's where the Phillies play. And then you have the Wells Fargo Center where the Sixers play. And then the Flyers also play there as well. So picture like one stadium here, one stadium here, one stadium here, the 3 of them, like a triangle.
Yeah.
And in the middle was Philadelphia Live, which is the version of Texas Live that you have in Arlington outside of Jerry World, where the Cowboys play. I think that's ideal because you have all 3 you have all 3 connected, right? It's interesting. You go to different areas, you see the different sports districts. LA is LA money, so we can't really compete with that. Phoenix has their version of it all as well, connecting the convention centers with the sporting event centers, right? I'm thinking about something that Colin Cowherd said on his show the other day. And it was interesting because he was talking about something completely different. He was talking about the Dallas Cowboys, right? He was saying the Cowboys should gut themselves. And one of the phrases that he uses was, you don't get out of bankruptcy by putting $13 a month into a 401k. He goes, you get out of bankruptcy by doing something big. And that's the reinvention of oneself. You can't get out of bankruptcy by putting away $15-20. You got to actually do something bigger and better. Yeah. There's an old saying that it takes money to make money. If you want to have jobs, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to invest within yourself. And sometimes that's a painful investment.
$4 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a painful investment. I joke about W-2s and 1099s all the time. What people don't see is that for 4 or 5 years, I worked 2 full-time jobs. I worked 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
When I started my business, I struggled. What people don't see is that I went through a foreclosure 15 years ago. That I went through a painful divorce a long time ago. Am I doing well for myself now? Yeah, I am. I'm doing exceptionally well for myself right now. But it was because of all the pain that I went through and all the hard work that I did.
Yeah.
And dude, I drove for Uber.
Yeah.
I refereed basketball. I was a substitute school teacher. I worked jobs in the media, both at San Antonio Sportscast, at Ken's 5. I've done so much over the years. So whenever I say that I'm doing well for myself, it ain't because I'm like fortunate and I'm just lucky.
Yeah.
It took hard work to get there. City of San Antonio wants to get better. They need to do hard work too. And the hard work of all that is investing in yourself. And what you can't do is fix potholes. Because fixing potholes does not lead to tax revenue. The poor side of town will always be poor. I'm not a big fan of trickle-down economics because that Reagan philosophy is the biggest load of crap that's ever existed, right? Because trickle-down doesn't work on a macro level because there's greedy parts down the way on the trickle-down. People don't just say, I'm just going to take my share and give the rest elsewhere. No, yeah. They grab as much as they can on the way down, and then you're left with crumbs. But I think trickle-down can work in a San Antonio environment because these communities are so close to each other that you just feed off of it. Just feed off of it. There has been gentrification in downtown. Look at the Pearl, right? The Pearl revitalized that side of town. Now things are more expensive along Broadway.
Yeah. Hay Street Bridge.
Trying
to go ahead and merge the downtown district with another part of, the outskirts of downtown.
Southtown.
Yeah.
The Blue Star District. But you look at what they're trying to do with Project Marvel. It's beyond a Spurs arena at where the Institute of Texan Cultures currently sits. It's an expansion of the convention center, which is beautiful, by the way. The Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center is beautiful.
Oh, I've been there. I mean, me and Jefe were there for the big Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's a great facility. Expand it, because why? We're a tourism town. So we're expanding. So this is what I'm looking at here. If we're expanding the convention center, that makes a bigger player for conventions, which brings what? Tax dollars in.
Yeah,
Which
tourism money.
Which what fills in the hotels.
Yeah.
So that right there, I don't see. So you look at that $4 billion, you go, okay, well, what slice is going to the convention center? Because that's investing in yourself at that point. So
Yeah.
I have no problem with that part.
Yeah, bringing the hotel there.
Bringing the hotel over there, the arena, the expansion of the Riverwalk to come alongside and connect hotels that are not connected to that area. The revitalization of the Tower of Americas, maybe, because the Tower of Americas, dude, that place, that thing needs to be like fortified. It needs to be secured.
Built in 1968.
You see that monstrosity that's across 37, which is the Alamo Dome, and it includes renovations to the Alamo Dome, not the ones where you try to build the concourse out and you try to, make it look nice so that you have the concession stands, but maybe the exterior, maybe modernize it, as
It's
opposed
like a
to
shoebox.
because you can't demolish it
Why?
because it's so expensive. It's so expensive to rebuild.
That thing was ugly when it was first built. I never been a fan of it.
You know what? People talk about how ugly it is. I don't think it's ugly.
It's ugly, dude.
Dude, it's ugly in the sense that, yeah, it is ugly, but it has a little bit of character, that ugliness. It's kind of like those celebrities who are not attractive, but they're kind of hot at the same time.
Jeez, man.
I kind of see that way. But if you modernize the interior, right, and you get luxury suites in there and you redo certain things, maybe keep the structure but gut the inside, kind of like my old rental property where we gutted the inside, kept the exterior, but we made the interior super nice. Maybe we do that.
They said Mike is top 1% wealthy now.
I'm not wealthy. I have income. I have income, and I work my ass off for it. I am my father's keeper. What in the New Jack City is this?
Well, it's because Sith is all on your side right now. Oh my god!
You know what's so funny is that I went on a nice little soliloquy here where we're just talking about what's going on. You know what I didn't do? I wasn't looking at these
the chats.
Yeah,
that's why I'm looking at. I look at you and then I have to look away because I got to keep up with the chats because
anything positive of what I'm saying on the chat?
Some people like it. Some people are just like kind of disagreeing at times. But the thing is we love the chat. We love the interaction with you guys because you all help us dictate what we're gonna do. Sometimes your comments are so good, we're gonna go ahead and talk about them, man. But either way, being able to have to constantly keep up with the chat is a good problem to have.
Yeah. Whoever said it's going to be badass when Marbach gets gentrified.
Jeez, bro. You know what I saw? I saw a video that we're going to talk about, man. It was hilarious. I think it was on Instagram. It's called San Antonio Fools on Instagram, right? And they have these guys, they're talking about the top 6 most dangerous places in San Antonio. Guess where Marbach? No, it was the top 7. Guess where Marbach was at?
What's that?
Number 6.
Tony Anales with Mike Zabala, Shakala, 20-inch blades on the Impala.
Oh,
stop.
God.
Drop.
The Tower of Americas is just a telephone pole with a view. God, bro. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this Project Marvel. They're going to do something with the Alamo Dome. I mean, the Alamo Dome is dated, man. I mean, you look on the facade on the outside, it needs some help.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why the city of San Antonio hasn't hosted another NBA All-Star game. It's been a long time coming, man. Like, you have to have the facilities, the infrastructure in place and all that to get these big venues. Like, I would love to see the NBA All-Star game return to San Antonio, because along with that, you have the players coming here, you have parties, you have all these other things that take place in lieu of the NBA All-Star game. It's All-Star weekend.
Right.
So it's a big buildup, and it's a lot of things that you can do there with the families.
And it's beyond that, Joe. Parks
parks,
building
walkways,
parks, walkways,
being able to walk
Ma-
from place to place.
giving people a reason to go downtown beyond sports. It could
Yeah.
be concerts. It could be. I mean, I go a lot to the pavilion in the Woodlands Pavilion over there.
Drew lives over there by the Woodlands.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I go there all the time. And the pavilion there has, a waterway, a walkway. There's trails to go walk in.
Things you can do.
Give people a reason to go downtown other than food,
Yeah.
other than
The Riverwalk.
the Riverwalk. Give them a reason to go downtown. I love whenever I'm in Austin, you go to Barton Springs Creek.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. You give a reason to go out there. I've been to Denver. It's a lot of areas there to go take your kids.
Telling
playgrounds.
you, I've been to
all that
Maryland several times. It's beautiful out there, dude.
stuff. Places where you feel safe, right?
Yeah.
That are not going to be all graffitied out, ganged out, or anything like that. And I mean, just seriously, just give a safe space.
Yeah.
Give a safe space. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's gentrifying the area. And
We got
have a
an
super
incoming
chat coming
super
in.
chat from Drew Show here.
Drew Show says, if you're going to go into debt, then go in.
It says if you're going to go into debt, how can you be a tourism town if your airport is subpar? If you can't navigate the city, and that's the thing, is that's what they're trying to do right now. Is they're trying to go ahead
Terminal 3 coming in
and revitalize that, because that is a problem. You got to make it easy to get to San Antonio and get out of San Antonio, because you have to get those connecting flights to Dallas or Houston, and that takes another an hour and a half, sometimes 4 hours.
Yeah.
Extra added on to your flight time. And flying sucks, man. You just want to get there as fast as you can, because these layovers and everything, when you fly and you actually travel,
Right.
you're tired, bro.
Yeah, I'm actually flying into Houston tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yeah.
I'm flying into Houston tomorrow. I'm going to pick up a Penske truck, and I'm going to drive it from there to Baton Rouge, going from Baton Rouge all the way back to San Antonio as I move my daughter from the great state of Louisiana.
10:32. I believe they will talk about the Project Marvel. We did talk about the Project Marvel. We're talking about what it's going to take to revitalize the downtown district of San Antonio,
and whether
with
it's
$4
worth the
billion.
investment or not.
I think it is worth the investment for them to go ahead and spend the $4 million to make the city better downtown, more appealing to everybody that lives here and the people that are coming in to visit. I think it's going to make San Antonio a major destination beyond just the Riverwalk or the Alamo. There's going to be more things to do. The one thing that I'm really kind of irked about is that, unfortunately, we don't have another professional sports team here in San Antonio.
Never will.
And we only have the Spurs. It'd be nice to maybe one day dream that, hey, we could have an NFL team
And
here
this
in
is
the city.
this is where my good friend Joe Reinagel, San Antonio Sports Star, formerly of Ken's 5, talks about all the time. He's mentioned it on his show before, so I'm not giving away any inside information. But the fact of the matter is that he has firsthand knowledge of saying that the reason why the NFL didn't come to the city of San Antonio was because of the Spurs. That the Spurs were like, hey, we don't have enough money here.
Yeah,
We don't have enough advertising dollars here. We can't be splitting it up with another team.
Yeah, we have another incoming super chat from the Drew Show. He says San Antonio still has no direct international flights of note. $4 billion. How about $16 billion and fix the whole thing? That's infrastructure.
Yeah, but if you have no reason for people to come over here, then what's the point?
Yeah, and I think that's why they're going to spend the $4 billion to revitalize downtown with that Project Marvel, and they're also at the same time revitalizing the airport, the expansion of the airport, so it can kind of go hand in hand together.
I think 2028 is when it's going to be fully completed. I might be wrong on that. But if you look at what the city's doing right there, if there's anything that the city excels in, it's conventions. Conventions are huge in San Antonio. And I don't know any other city, Joe, that does a convention better than City of San Antonio.
Yeah, we have some good conventions.
We have the Convention Center space. You have the Grand Hyatt, Hotel Contessa, Palacio del Rio. You got all of those areas right there, right? We do conventions right. Marriott River Center, the Riverwalk wall, the revitalizing of the Alamo, right? They're getting they're kicking those crappy ass businesses from across the street out, right?
Oh yeah,
They're
man.
revitalizing all that. So think about what the city of San Antonio could look like 10 years from now.
Yeah, and the Institute of Texas Culture is going to be in that area where the Alamo stands now to complete that circle of like history.
It's all making sense. And the city of San Antonio needs to look at it and go, and I say city of San Antonio, I'm not talking about the politicians. The residents need to look at each other and go, do we want revenue here or not?
Yeah. We got a comment here coming from Christopher Leja. Thank you, Leja, for commenting, man, because I know he's a busy man. He's always on the grind, dude. Respect, dude. The city is ran by a bunch of effing idiots, he says. The city planners are trash as hell. It's going to be a mess downtown. You can take that to the bank.
Okay, I'm going to throw a name out there. I'm going to show her face on my screen here. People hated this woman when she was in the city of San Antonio.
Oh,
as a city
Cheryl
manager.
Scully, dude. My God.
Dude, Cheryl Scully was right. Cheryl Scully ended up going, to Phoenix and revitalizing what they had going on over there. Cheryl Scully was the city manager of San Antonio, and at the time was probably the most powerful person in the city. People complained because of her salary at the time, because she was making like 1 point something million, and she was the highest paid city employee. And they complained about that as opposed to what she was doing for the city. Cheryl Scully was absolutely right. The problem is that she was 20 years ahead of her time when it comes to thinking of it. Do you know who was not 20 years ahead of their time? Was Phoenix. The city of Phoenix went over there and swallowed her up and was like, yeah, we got to do what she's got to do. But you know what? What does she do? What does she do? The Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center was because of her. She was like, $325 million for that? Yeah, we need to make that happen. We need to make that happen. Actually, we took her from Phoenix, now that I think about it. Expansion of the Riverwalk. Focusing on tourism and things like that. And city of San Antonio residents, what did we do? We ran her out of town. But she was right. Absolutely right. You look at some of the past politicians. I think Chris Leja is correct, by the way.
Look at this.
Project Marvel, according to Tex-Mex Frank, is a plan to raise money the Puro way, barbecue plate sale, Super Bowl numbers pot. They're gonna do like that Spurs 50-50 raffle.
I got some squares, bro. What do you need? You need some numbers?
Cheryl Scully, where you at, girl? Come back. 72 years old. Come back.
Project Marvel should have been planned 10 years ago.
What, when the Spurs were winning? I had somebody put on my page early today. They're like, well, if the Spurs start winning, then maybe we can do that. Well, dude, this is years out in the distance, man. This is not like normal. This will take years to put together. Spurs have a contract with the Frost Bank Center to win like 2033.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a while.
2032 or something like
2032. So somewhere around there. So 30-year lease.
So what'll happen is it's like, you're gonna lease an apartment, right? And you're gonna leave early. You still got to go ahead and pay, for the 6 months or so that you're gonna break the lease. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen with the Spurs right now. If they get a new arena built, they're gonna have to negotiate, and say, hey, we're moving over here now. We know we got to break the lease. What's it gonna cost us to move?
Yeah. Tony coming out and saying that she must not have done much if San Antonio is still a poor city. It's because people didn't do what she said. She got the convention center right, but she got overruled so often that she was so ambitious that the city couldn't take it. By the way, saying that the city of Phoenix sucks, dude, I've been to Phoenix twice in the last 3 years. Phoenix is amazing.
Yeah,
heck of a town.
Never been there. Don't care to.
Phoenix is great, dude. One of my favorite cities in the country. If you're to say like Jimenez, what are your favorite places to go visit that you like go frequently to? Phoenix is at the top, is one of the tops of the list. I love San Diego, Lannis Fernandez. That's a great place.
That's a beautiful city, man. That's one of my favorites, dude.
San Diego, Phoenix, going to, when I went to Miami, it's beautiful. Miami wasn't as expensive as I thought. Like what was expensive was the hotel, but like the actual like getting stuff done during like food,
eating, drinking
was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine. No different than going to the Riverwalk, to be honest with you. I like North Carolina. I love Nashville. Nashville's great. That's a sports district right there to take a look at. They have the Bridgestone, and all that stuff. Give a reason for people to go. But Project Marvel being unveiled this morning at city council chambers. Let's see what happens there. There's going to be the outlash and there's going to be the backlash from the certain sides of town who are like, we need potholes to be fixed. And I'm like, well, no, we need jobs over here. Those potholes don't create jobs. Being fixed don't create jobs. It takes money to make money. Wait for the trickle down, dude. Wait for the trickle down, because that's the only way that's going to work for you guys.
You know what I want to do too? I want to go ahead and pause real quick just to go ahead and give some love out to MCS General Contracting, as they are one of our supporters here. So we'll come back after a few words from MCS General Contracting, home of the Diamond Heart Concrete. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
That's right. That Diamond Heart Concrete. They have the new tumblers coming up, the Yetis.
Yeah, man. They're like looking like this. They're red in color. I think he's going to have some other colors.
Hashtag Diamond Heart. I like the red one that he has there. Dude, I'm a tumbler guy, dude.
Yeah.
I love tumblers. Let's talk some sports, man. Let's talk some Spurs, because Spurs back in action tonight against the Utah Jazz.
I was going to show you a picture real quick. You're always talking about Coach Pop and how old he is, right?
75.
What do you think about this? Hubie Brown, man. Going to call it a career now. He's been coaching. He's been a coach. He's been an old Hall of Famer, and he's been with ESPN. He's been with the network over there since 2004?
Yeah.
He's been an NBA and an ABA head coach, an analyst for over 52 years. The brother's 91 years old, still working, man.
Hubie Brown was the oldest head coach in the NBA until Greg Popovich broke his record.
Well, he was the Grizzlies coach.
Yeah, he was 70 years old. He attempted to do the age 71 season, but he ended up having health issues. So just like Pop, he had health issues, couldn't finish the season. His career was over. So again, the oldest coach of all time couldn't make it through the end of a season because of health issues. Pop breaks his record, becomes the oldest coach of all time, has a health issue, doesn't finish the season because I don't think Pop's coming back. But Hubie Brown, what I remember about Hubie Brown, they used to have what's called the Hubie Brown rule. And the Hubie Brown rule was first team to 100 always wins.
Yeah.
And it's like, we'd be watching a game, it'd be like 196. He goes, all right, game over. It's been my experience that the team that gets to 100 first wins all the time. First team to 100 always wins. That's Hubie Brown. Hubie Brown, congratulations on a long run. I remember him as a great announcer, but if you were to say, Michael, when was the last time you saw Hubie Brown do a good game? I can't remember, dude. I didn't even know he was still doing games.
He does games. He's very insightful, man. I got to say, like, he'll come out on ESPN when he's talking, and you listen to him, and he has a lot of knowledge about the game itself. I like listening to him talk, Yeah. He's a smart guy.
Great run. Hubie Brown, he's a icon in the NBA. Talk about the Spurs tonight, 2.5-point favorites against the Utah Jazz. Why 2.5 points? Only 2.5 points against a bad Utah team. It's because no Victor Wembanyama yet again. They call it a bone bruise, man, and that's kind of getting to me. So we'll talk about that in a second. But before we get into that, our good friend Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 mentioned he took the idea from us of the NBA rookie ladder because NBA.com releases this every week. He stole that from us, man. We usually unveil this, and
the rookie ladder.
By the way, it was his birthday yesterday.
Yeah, shout out to the Jefe. I told him happy birthday.
How do we not know this on air? I would have sung to him.
Jeff does not like to. He knows, man. If he's gonna come out on the show, he don't want nobody to know it's his birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't even know until I was looking at the X because I got a notification when I was working, and I looked and I was like, "Oh, it's Jefe's birthday from Locked On Spurs." Locked On, the podcast network.
Right.
I was like, "Oh, I got to tell Jeff happy birthday." I texted him, told him happy birthday. I put it on the X and everything. I shared a picture of him, and he probably didn't like it. But it's not even his whole face. He's kind of looking away because he's moderating the panel at the time. I thought it was a nice picture.
I have some photos with Jefe where it has his full face and everything.
Me too, but I don't.
But he doesn't post them because he doesn't like it.
I have some too, but that's just for me. And I always tell him, I said, no, dude, we're not posting this. It's for us. He's like, okay, cool.
So NBA.com and CBS Sports both released in the last 24 hours their rookie rankings right now. So let's see if we're getting some love and some respect from the national media when it comes to Stephon Castle. NBA.com says the storyline to watch this week was Stephon Castle is on the rise. And it says since Mitch Johnson stepped in for ailing coach Greg Popovich, this all happened. The rankings, they have Jared McCain, who's having a huge season right now for the 76ers, filling in for injured players, 15 points per game, number 1 rookie right now. Jalen Wells, who was picked number 39 overall of Memphis, considered to be number 2. Dalton Connect of the Lakers, who had more than 30 points the other day, number 3. Zachary Sarche, the number 1 overall pick, at number 4. Zach Edey, the number 9 overall pick, at number 5. And at number 6, they have Stephon Castle, currently the number 6 best rookie in the NBA for the season so far. So on pace to make an all rookie team, 1 or 2 team, whatever the case may be. Talking about how LeBron was really, hyping him up a little bit. CBS Sports released their rankings. And they have as number 1 being, as we expected it to be, Jared McCain of the 76ers. Number 2, they have
Zach Edey.
Jared McCain of the Sixers. Number 2, they have Zach Edey. I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Jalen Wells at 3. Carlton Carrington at 4. Dalton Connect at 5. Ryan Dunn at 6. Donovan Clingan at 7. Reese Arche at 8. Missy at 9. And 10, Alex Sarr. So they didn't even have Stephon Castle ranked in the top 10.
That's a travesty, man. Kid's a baller. We do got an incoming super chat here from Matt Gomez. Thank you for that. We do appreciate the $1.99 super chat there, Matt Gomez. And he's saying Colonial is talking about Project Marvel right now. And he says Jeff Garcia is a high roller, is what Tony Ornelas is saying.
Dude, that one time that he had that steak on a silver platter delivered to him, I'll never forget, dude.
Oh, God.
I'll never forget.
Frank. Did Hefe have one of those money corsages with only hundies pinned on it? Hundreds. Ooh. Oh. Leia. Alamo Dome looks like a 2-pack of ass. Castle is not listed on CBS. Yep, he's not.
Crazy.
Jared McCain is leading for Rookie of the Year right now.
Well, look at all the injuries that Philadelphia has. Well, let me ask you this question, Joe. We're talking about all these rookies, right? Most of them are playing for losing teams. But we have Stephon Castle, who's a starter for a team that is on the verge of becoming 500 again today. I think that gets him more run if you are starting for a team that's doing decent compared to balling out for a team that is 30 or 40 games under 500.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that at some point that's got to be a deal. Was asking the question earlier about Victor Wembanyama, who's going to miss another game today.
How
TNT called it a bone bruise. And people are reaching out saying, well, wait a minute, bone bruise? Haven't players in the past missed like 4 weeks with a bone bruise?
Tony Parker, man, was the king of contusions on his chin, dude.
Right. What if that's the case? What if, okay, because again, I'm not trying to be conspiracy theory, but it's been a while since I've done the Brian Windhorst,
Yeah.
What if Wemby's more hurt than is what's been led on? Because would you put it past the Spurs to like keep people in the dark?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to say if there's something really wrong with him,
So let's think about that. What if he misses 3 to 4 weeks? Is he going to get the label of being soft? Is he going to get the label of being injury prone? Because I'm already seeing Spurs Twitter all over Devin Vassell right now.
Yeah.
Saying that dude's always injured, which is kind of true. But Joe, would it be a tank job, or is it one of those things where we look at Wemby and think to ourselves, you know what? Even if it's a minor injury, you're so important to this franchise, just sit out. Or is that sending a bad message to Wemby that he can be able to do that for his entire career?
I think what they're doing is just erring on the side of caution. That's the way they've been with their players. If you look at the history of the San Antonio Spurs, anytime one of their star players is hurt, they're going to sit him out And you know what? We want you to be 100 when you come back. We don't want you to play at like 80% or 70%. We've seen what's happened in the past when things like that have happened. The player sustains another injury, or they regress a little bit and they have to sit out longer. So I think with Wemby, they're just going to err on the side of caution there. They're going to sit him out for an extended period of time. He might miss a few more games and then they'll reinsert him into the fray. But if this continues, and we're already going into the first week of December, and Wemby's like,
Right.
no, don't sit him. She's going to sit him. I'm like, bro, what's really wrong with Wemby?
Now, Chris Paul is listed as questionable. I mean, probable, rather.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised by that because I thought that we were going to get the first DNP by Chris Paul because he suffered that hand injury of some sort,
His
thumb injury.
Thumb got dislocated.
And he's probable for this game. I thought he was going to sit out.
Yeah.
Zach Collins questionable. Wemby out. Vassell might be out. We already know Sohan's out with a broken thumb. So the Spurs injured, but maybe we'll get more Charles Bassey today. Maybe we'll get more Stephon Castle to Bassey.
Hey, I'm not going to argue about it. Chris Leha is actually sharing some renderings that the city released here, Project Marvel. These are the first renderings of what it could look like, Not bad. I mean, look at what they're doing with the Alamo Dome. They're changing the facade.
Mm-hmm.
It has a really nice area right there in the middle where it's kind of open, let in natural lighting, glass facade all the way around, kind of,
I'm going to cry, dude.
Looks nice.
I'm going to cry. This is beautiful.
Looks nice.
This is beautiful.
Look at the area where they're going to put the arena and stuff. I mean, it looks beautiful. Can you imagine
it's so ambitious,
the shots?
Dude. It's so ambitious.
Can you imagine the shots on national TV now of the Spurs have this new arena built downtown? And when they call in from ESPN and whatnot, instead of just having to go all the way to just show the Riverwalk, they can actually show the facilities and the nice area that they do have around the arena where, hey, people are walking, they're doing things.
If UTSA continues to play at the Dome, this would be big for them too.
Oh, man, that would be huge.
So if that's the renderings that we're looking at of what
nice.
Project Marvel is going to look like, sign me up, dude. And it's just one of those things where it takes money to make money. And it's basically renovating, like a massive renovation of the Alamo Dome. I guess UTSA would have to play at the Rockpile Alamo Stadium for a few years, right? Because that's not one of those things where, we're just going to renovate the facade. No, it's the interior. It's changing the roof. It's changing everything.
Look at this. They wanted to have another venue there, right? Entertainment venue, maybe for concerts and whatnot. I mean, they're kind of showing you what it looks like.
Just get it done before I turn 60. I want to be young enough to still be able to enjoy it.
And these are the exhibit halls, I guess, connecting to the Civic Park. And, they're showing you how it's all going to connect and how it's going to look. And renderings there. Looks nice, man. Not going to lie.
Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. Yeah. You know what? I'd rather have this than fix your effing potholes.
But I want to drive on my street without having to mess up my tires.
Hey, man. That's what Via's for, baby. That's what Via's for.
No, man. We need something better than the Via, dude. The Via sucks, man.
Dude, Via does an all right job. They do an all right job. So I'm okay with them. But the Spurs, again, action tonight against the Utah Jazz. Spurs will win this game, dude. We're going to get back to 500. Just is what it is, man. With or without Wemby, we'll get back to 500 because got to get the keys to Castle.
Yeah, man.
If you have an injured Chris Paul out there, I don't think he's going to play 30 minutes. He's not going to be as effective. I think this might be the first game, Joe, that Stephon Castle actually gets the keys to the car.
Hey,
I'm going to go out and predict right here, Joe. Prediction right here. He will have a career-high 10 assists today.
Maybe he have a career high in points. I mean, maybe this is going to be the game the Spurs shock the world and they can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Winning without Wemby, winning without Vassell, and then winning without Chris Paul. I mean, how good is this team low-key if they win this game?
Yeah.
Then you got your Spurs fans.
They're showing promise.
If they win again tonight, I said they showed a leap against OKC without Wemby, without Vassell. If they win tonight, they're just showing you that this team is gonna let's say exceed expectations.
In Mitch, we trust.
You think if Coach Pop was coaching, the team would be playing this well?
No.
Oh man.
No, and I'm not going to hear any arguments to say that it was because these are not Pop's lineups, and it's not Pop's timeout strategies. It's not Pop's intensity, lack thereof. It's having a young coach that they identify with.
Look at that. We got another $1.99 super chat coming in from Midtown Texas. Thank you for
Nice.
that, man. He says he's going to pay for Mike's tears today.
That Project Marvel rendering, it's beautiful, man.
Look at the Alamo Dome, dude. The Alamo Dome finally looked decent, you know?
People asking about Fred's fish fry. You gotta get that drug money in there for allegedly.
Fred's fish fry could pay for the whole thing,
Hey,
dude.
man.
Saca la bolsita.
We're gonna pay this in nickels and dimes.
Yeah. At least we don't have Houston roads, absolute garbage. Hey, man, I'm not gonna lie though. You know, the roads in Houston, even the highway. You've traveled that highway.
Oh, I don't.
In Louisiana, it's horrible.
Dude, I avoid Houston like the plague. When I go to Houston, quote unquote, to go visit the chica, I exit at Katy, dude. You know,
Take the toll.
I take the toll. I take the Hardy toll road, man. I ain't going I-10. I haven't been to Houston proper in forever, man. The last time I was actually in Houston was to go to the Minute Maid Park to watch the Dodgers and Astros play.
Yeah.
That was the last time I was
it's
there.
not Minute Maid Park anymore. They renamed it.
They did.
Yeah. It's a Japanese firm now that has the naming rights to it. It's not going to be Minute Maid Park anymore.
Tell me that ain't so, dude.
I'm being dead honest
calling it
with
the
you.
juice box was amazing.
No, not anymore, bro.
Dyken Park.
Yep. They paid for the naming rights.
Oh my god.
Pour some
it's
out.
an air conditioning company based in Japan.
Yep.
Dyken Park. Dude, that's forever the juice box.
Just saying, man.
Dyken Park. I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, the Spurs got a lot to go ahead and prove tonight. I think if they can come out strong and they can win this game, Spurs fans, man, you got to see that this team has been making some big strides and might exceed those expectations we all had put on them. I still say, I was saying, you know, like 35, 32 wins, you know. Yeah. I'm still going to stick to that, but if you can see them being more competitive and growing as a team, I mean, they might even exceed that, dude.
Okay. You can get the chancla out if you want.
Oh, no, man.
Get it out if you want. The chancla is this. When I gave my prediction about the Spurs being a 25-win team, that was with Pop as head coach.
Oh, Lord.
Mitch Johnson is the reason why they're going to win more games this year. Go ahead and
how many more games? Give me a number.
You're probably right. About 32, 33.
35. Now you. Chanclazo.
I will happily take that one, but you got to understand there's an asterisk involved in all this because I was talking as Pop as the head coach. I was talking about that 75-year-old who probably should have retired 10 years ago coaching, not the 39-year-old up and coming intense coach in Mitch Johnson. That's not fair. I'll take the chancla. But that's not fair. Not fair.
Yeah, and the other thing that's happening today is we've got some word here. The official news, finally. We had been talking about this for a while now, and it's been rumored, but finally the final nail in the coffin has fallen. Wow. Around the Horn is done, ending in 2025 after a 23-year run on ESPN.
How Tony Reali went from being an intern at ESPN to hosting the show, I'll never understand. He was the intern on Pardon the Interruption.
Yeah.
You know, he would do like the, you know, what they did wrong or like the fact checking them at the end of the show to them putting the show out. This was an innovative show back in 2003, 2004 when it first came out.
Yeah.
I was a big fan. I can't tell you the last time I saw the show.
It's dated now, man.
It's dated, but you know, you see that they had first it was Woody, right? Yeah. And then you had Bomani Jones, Mina Kimes.
She still comes out.
Mina Kimes made her name on this show.
Yeah.
Tim Cowlishaw. You had so many different people that were able to make a name, from Jamel Hill to Michael Smith and all of those people. It was a very, very good and innovative show. It just ran its course. It probably ran its course about 10 years ago. No one just told them.
Yeah.
They need to have something different.
I think they're going to probably bring in something that's going to be a bit more innovative, maybe
Yeah.
appeal to the younger crowd as well.
Do you know what show that got canceled a while back? Not canceled as in like bad canceled, but canceled as in they just weren't going to do it anymore. Was the Sports Reporters.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Wilbon, Lupica, and all these old reporters just talking there and being old men on a rocking chair, basically talking sports. I couldn't stand it, man. I couldn't stand it. Mitch Albom, couldn't stand it. You know, the whole get off my lawn. I am 47 years old, Joe. My goal in life is to never be old.
Look at that, Mike.
I might physically get old one day, but I want to be mentally young, and I want to be able to teach a new dog new tricks.
Hey, since you've been dropping some weight, they said total wins equals
my waist.
36, Mike. Hey, you're almost there.
Hey, I'm getting there, man. I was at 44 last year, and I'm at 40 now, man. I'm making my way down to the 38s.
There you go.
Making my way down, dude.
You might have to get ghetto and go ahead and punch another hole in the belt.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I gotta tell you what happened yesterday, man. Yesterday, I went to go referee basketball over at Jefferson Middle School, which is a north side school off of 1604 in Shanefield. And it's weird going from varsity to 7th grade girls in 24 hours. Those 7th grade girls can't play ball worth anything. And it is like a rugby match. They're just, you know, all 10 players are all packed together. They're chasing the ball. I called kick like 30 times because it's like you can't use your feet, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to put on your uniform when you get there, right? So I have my uniform all packed. I took it out of the dryer. I got over there, Joe. My button was missing from my pants. My button was missing.
God.
So it's flapping. My flap is like flapping in the wind, right? So at this point, I'm like, do you guys have a paper clip, right? So they gave me a paper clip, right? And I paper clipped my pants together, right? No one could see it, right? You have to like really be looking for it. Then I mosey on over, and in the middle of the game, the little strand at the top of my shirt that holds my whistle came apart. And then my whistle broke.
Jeez, man.
Do you know how often I take an extra whistle, Joe?
Never.
Guess what I had in my pocket?
Extra whistle.
An extra whistle. I never do that. And it just so happened to have one on me. Crazy.
Did you see Pledge was in here? There you go. There's his comment. The weather was different when I made that prediction.
It's colder now. Hey, Pledge. It's a different thing, baby. It's a different dynamic. Again, if you had told me Mitch Johnson was the head coach back then, I would have made a certain prediction. You tell me Pop was the guy. Because again, I told you what, Mitch Johnson is better suited for a rebuild than Greg Popovich ever was. It's true. Doesn't mean he's a better coach. He's just a better coach for a rebuild. Two different things. And I love you, Pledge. Thanks for listening, man. Supporting the show.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give some love here to Jeff Garcia of the Locked On Spurs podcast.
Birthday boy.
Yeah,
belated birthday boy.
And when we come back here, we're going to go ahead and talk about some news that Jeff released earlier on today. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And right on cue here, Vainstain, you had said, did you guys talk about the Xmas games being animated for the kids? And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Jeff Garcia just released this earlier late yesterday. And he put that the Spurs are getting the Disney treatment on their Xmas Day game versus the New York Knicks. Basically, what's going to happen is that they're going to have the players that are playing on this particular day, they're going to be kind of animated and be put into this Dunk the Halls fiasco that's going to be going on ESPN2, ESPN, and Disney Plus. So this is going to be a thing on Christmas Day. It's going to be a Mickey Mouse animated thing, kind of like you see with SpongeBob, at times when they have the NFL there. And I know that Disney Plus has also aired some of these games as well. So we're just talking about how the games are going to be animated on Christmas Day. Jeff Garcia released that story where it's going to be called Dunk the Halls.
I like it.
So the players are actually going to be like, they're rendered to look like, this animated thing that they're going to have with Mickey and Minnie and all the cast and characters from Disney. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's kind of going along the same things that I was saying with like SpongeBob and something else. The Simpsons game that they're going to have. They did something else on Disney too. I think it was like Marvel related where they did that. So going in with the theme. They're trying to appeal to a younger crowd.
Yeah, Nickelodeon does that with the NFL games sometimes where they have the slime
kids. What they're doing is, it's really smart though. They're appealing to the kids and they're also appealing to the preteens to try to get them in early.
Right.
And get them interested in the NFL, and that, hey, that's revenue coming in, the next generation.
JHNSB says no more Lane Bryant for Mike. Dude, that sucks. Tip of the cap.
Oh,
that was good. That was good. That was
good.
I'm flicking off you. I'm flicking you off through the computer. Okay, right there. There it is. Right there. There it is. There it is.
Bro, MJ's takes always sound senile to me. Jesus.
To quote Eminem, visionary, vision is scary.
Oh my God. But how about that? Anyway, that's some information that we had to share with you guys that's coming
and
from
by the way,
Jeff
I'm
Garcia.
scratching the back of my thigh.
No, you're
not pulling out a wedgie.
He's drinking you're pulling out your wedgie from your nalga.
Back of my thigh right here.
And make sure you go and follow our boy Jeff Garcia over at the Locked On Spurs podcast for your daily Spurs content. You can also follow him on the X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go and give him some love, and give some love to MCS General Contracting. If you want that diamond hard concrete in your life, make sure you go ahead and call Chris Leja over at 210-774-9155. And you know what? If you need some financial advice, go ahead and call Mike.
That's right. There's my number right there. That's my personal cell, 210-508-0369. I've been in finance for 20 years already, Joe.
Man, that's a long time.
20 years. But I started my practice all over again because I was management for a good while.
Yeah.
Started my practice during COVID. And I help people with retirement accounts. I help people with college savings, individual investments, life insurance, disability, long-term care. I am a fiduciary, which means everything I say and do needs to be in the client's best interest. I work my ass off. I love my business. I love doing what I do. And I have a very, very good client base. Very, very good client base. One of the cool things, Joe, been doing this for so long. You go to a website called brokercheck.org. You type in Michael Jimenez, San Antonio, Texas. They'll tell you how many times I've had a client complaint. Guess what that number is?
What is it?
0. It's never happened.
You have a clean record overall.
Dude, in the litigious society that we are in right now, I know some really good financial guys who have gotten dinged. And I've been blessed to not have it because, well, my clients like me. You know why, Joe? Because I get to pick my clients too. In the sense that if I don't want to work with you, if I don't feel up to it for whatever reason, get the ick, I don't have to work with you either.
The ick.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know why, dude. My back of my leg is itching, dude. It's not my ass. I'm telling you, it's the back of my thigh. It's itching.
I don't know.
Bed bugs or something.
I don't know. You over there at your house?
We're on this side of Marbach. I don't know.
Maybe it's the Dodge, man. Had fleas or something in it.
The Dodge. Dude, the Dodge is getting a break this week, man. Because typically I drive out to Houston the Houston area to go see my girl. But yeah.
You're going to go see her, but
I'm flying out there, but I'm going to go pick up Gabby.
Yeah, you got to drive Gabby girl back all the way from where she's at now to San Antonio. And I've done that with my son too. And I got to tell you, man, that whole day of driving, dude, it's an ass whip, man. Because it's not like you're going to stop and see the sights. It's just
a
very utilitarian,
drive.
Dude. You're just going to go in there. You're going to load up the truck. All right, we got everything ready. It's locked down, strapped down, whatever. Get in there. She's probably going to drive the car. You're going to drive the truck. Those U-Hauls are just very uncomfortable, man.
Hey, dude, show my screen real fast, dude. I didn't tell you this. This was the food that I had in Miami the other day.
What is it?
Oh, my God. Okay, this was a triple meat sampler there.
Yeah.
Had the Cuban ground beef with the Cuban chicken with the that was pork, and then there was like another thing of chicken with the rice. Those empanadas were amazing. That's a big ass tamale they had over there. It was good times, dude. That was some good eats.
Look at that. They're saying Yolanda going to give Mike a call soon.
Hey man, hit me up, girl.
Yolanda Salvador.
Hit me up.
Salvador. You can go pick her up from prison.
Tavarius, do you do TSP, Mike? And the answer is yes, I do TSP. So I know what it takes when it comes to it all. Wait, hold that one up for a second. Right? Okay, so a couple of things. Okay, so thrift savings plan is what TSP is, right? There's the chica. So thrift savings plan is basically the retirement plan for the military and the civil service, right? You have the G fund, the F fund, the C, the S, the I, then you have the L, right? So people ask the question: Is there an alternative on the outside that's similar? The answer is yes. I can give some guidance if you need some help when it comes to that. If you have an old TSP account, you need to have what's called a U-72 form or a 72 form, which basically gets that money out of that system and moves it into an IRA. There are ways of investing very similarly with better protection on the outside if you have 25,000 or more in there. What was the next question you had there about somebody saying as a college graduate? So this is Cristiano Ochoa, about to graduate college and hopefully start a job. Would you be able to help with financial advice? Damn straight, dude. I love working with people who are just starting, man. I have people who have their first investment made, and I have some people who have that make tens of millions a year. What was the question? If I want to stretch my ass, I'll stretch my ass. I was down here, not up here. It was look at the elbow.
They said if Mike reaches back again, then sniffs his finger, I'm going to have questions.
It's like Judge Smales' nephew on or grandson on Caddyshack. $10 says he eats it.
That's freaking gross, bro. You look at Sam Salinas. He's being sneaky with it. I saw him scratch his nose. Man, dude, they're roasting you even in the chat, dude. You can't escape
it. I can't escape it.
I know damn well Jeff Garcia's listening, and he's getting screenshots or he's getting the recording, and he's gonna put it out before the show's even over. I bet you he's already gonna do his thing, dude.
Which NFL power rankings do you want to do? ESPN, Yahoo, or USA Today?
Let's do USA Today. We haven't done that in a while.
Very nice. So the author of this is Nate Davis of USA Today. He has as the number 10 team. Oh, he has the Houston Texans at 12, by the way. Wow. Texans might be 7-4, but he's like, nah, you 12.
Man. So what he's saying though is that they're not a very good team.
Cowboys, he has at number 29 as the
jeez, man.
29 out of 32. Says the sky is literally falling at the AT&T Stadium, where America's team has lost its last 6 games and trailed by at least 20 in all of them. Houston has taken over North Texas. Okay, top 10 according to USA Today. Arizona Cardinals at 10. Someone's got to win that division, right? NFC West leaders currently right now. Number 9, the Green Bay Packers. Doesn't matter who's QB, they keep on winning. They beat Chicago. Chicago was lined up for a game-winning field goal, got blocked. Commanders at number 8. Double-digit favorites over the Cowboys this weekend. Minnesota Vikings back to their winning ways. They're 5-0 against the AFC. Minnesota number 7. The Ravens fell from 3 to 6. Dude, what is it with the Ravens, man? When the Ravens are good, they look like they could beat anybody.
You know why?
But then they lose to certain teams that are beneath them.
I'm gonna give you a hot take, man. Because the Ravens are fool's gold, man. They are not as good as advertised. They go ahead and win these games. They have a decent record, good enough to make it into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
What happens? They fold.
I think that in any given Sunday, that team can go toe-to-toe with any team.
They can, but they're their own worst enemy, man.
But they're their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And then their coaching is kind of suspect. They lost 2 games this year because of a dropped pass. Wide receiver dropped a pass. Derrick Henry dropped a pass. Gave the other team the ball. They lost because of it.
Yeah, and how many leads did they give up?
Yeah. And then they also had this whole situation there where they refused to give Derrick Henry the ball for like 2 quarters.
That's your boy,
That's
man.
like it's like, how do you have Derrick Henry and only give him the ball like twice in a second half?
That's like at what, being like, okay, you're first and goal. Nah, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
And you got Derrick Henry.
Pete Carroll, like
Yeah,
Marshawn Lynch.
What's wrong with
Oh,
you?
I didn't even read the reason why. They were talking about how the last game, Derrick Henry only had 13 touches.
Jeez, man.
None in the fourth quarter of a 2-point loss, they say. Okay. Number 5, the Steelers, all they do is win. And tonight the Steelers have the Cleveland Browns on Amazon Prime as we start week 12.
That's
of the
going to be a
NFL.
horrible game, man.
Dude, they're going to go 9-2. Steelers are going to be
awful.
Dude, are the Steelers going to be 9-2?
Or is this a trap game where the Browns will come and win this one?
Who's the quarterback for the Browns these days?
Jeez, bro, I don't even know.
I'm looking at the standings here.
They don't have nobody.
9-2. They're going to be 9-2 ahead of the AFC North, right?
Jesus.
The Steelers with Justin Fields. They're going to be 9-2.
But you know what? It says a lot about their coaching and just how they're playing defense, man.
And one of their 2 losses to who?
Cowboy. Embarrassing. That's embarrassing, man. If you're a Steelers fan and your team that's better than the Cowboy lose to the Cowboys.
Everyone reminded me that Jesse A and Eshawn saying famous Jameis Winston. All he does is win weird games. Number 4 on USA Today's Power Rankings, dropping from 1 to 4, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are not as good as advertised. I know they're the last team to be undefeated and last team to lose a game. But the Chiefs fell to number 4. Number 3, the Eagles, dude. The Eagles have been looking good, man. Saquon is turning back the clock. Jalen Hurts, rather, is not doing as many mistakes as he did in the past.
And look at Drew Show's calling you out. Justin Fields hasn't been the quarterback for the Steelers for some time now. It's been Russell.
No, I know it's Russell Wilson, but I believe I had read that Justin Fields might be the quarterback today.
Yeah.
So I know Russell Wilson's been the quarterback, but I saw on like a depth chart early this morning, which kind of took me back, that Justin Fields might be the QB1 for today for whatever reason. I don't know if they're benching Wilson or if he's hurt or sick, but I read that earlier today. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Dude, I just want them to win one time, dude. Just win a Super Bowl once. Number 1, the best team by far in the NFL. Don't at me. Detroit Lions.
Yeah, man.
Jared Goff has the hottest wife. Okay, maybe
Jesus.
Jared Goff's wife, Kristen Harper. Holy heck, she's hot. She might not be the hottest, but I just think that she's smoking, right?
Yeah.
Jared Goff is going to have Kristen Harper, a Super Bowl championship, and the MVP this year. Give me the Detroit Lions. And here's Kristen Harper, 31 years old, SI swimsuit model.
Yeah, and they got a couple kids together too. I think he has like 3 girls or something.
Maybe she's not the hottest, but Jared Goff is winning.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Lions quarterback.
Jared Goff is winning at life, dude. He's winning at life. He got her when he was 0-16 as a quarterback, Joe.
What are you going to say? He's got game?
Dude, he most definitely does.
He has chingo de game?
I mean, to get her when he was 0-16. I remember that video of her being excited. It was on like Hard Knocks, where she was excited that they finally got a win, and she was on location in a bikini, doing a swimsuit edition, modeling. And they're like, they got the win. She was all excited for one win.
Jeez.
Kristen Harper.
There you go.
Nugget. Only 3 kids. Goff is lagging. I mean, who was that one guy that had like 15 kids?
Jeez, that was the Chargers quarterback, man.
Phillip Rivers had like 10.
Yeah, bro. I was like, that brother gonna be working.
Travis Henry had like a dozen.
Gonna be working forever, man. You're gonna be working forever. That's a greeter at Walmart. I mean, you're gonna have a couple jobs. I'm like, damn.
Matt Goff is saying, bro, this shit is crazy. Yeah, Demon Mike made an appearance. I apologize. Vainstein saying at least she's a real one. She hooked up with him, not when she was on top.
Oh, there it is. My boy Phillip Rivers is what he's talking about. Damn. Tons of kids, man. Hey, we got some college football to talk about here, too, because you have Yahoo Sports is reporting right now. They have the week 13 of college football games,
Mhm.
and they're saying that Saturday is going to be a stacked card, man.
Nice.
Look at what you got on the docket for
Indiana
Saturday.
against Ohio State. You have Colorado against Kansas, BYU against Arizona State, Notre Dame against Army, and then Auburn taking on, who's Auburn taking on? I can't see that
Texas
logo.
A&M.
Texas A&M. It's a weird looking A&M logo from this distance.
Yeah, it's not solid. Usually they have it like
the maroon and white.
Yeah,
It's more pronounced.
And now it's just kind of like the outline of the letters. You know,
you can show my screen real fast. College Football Live with a tweet today saying that UTSA and Washington are the only two teams in all of college football. There's 130 teams.
Yeah.
The only two that are undefeated at home and winless on the road. It says Washington is 6-0 at home, 0-4 on the road. UTSA 5-0 at the Dome, 0-5 on the road.
Something's got to give, man.
Well, UTSA needs to win the game against Temple on Friday to make it bowl eligible.
They do, man. That's not going to be an easy win for them either. They got to be ready. You know,
Temple with a really bad record, but Temple's won 3 of the last 5, I believe, or 2 of the last 4. Temple's not been a rollover since.
Nope.
Hey, I posted this earlier today. I was watching TV this morning. I whenever I turn on my TV, it goes to 90s pop. Shanice, I love your smile.
Bro.
I hadn't heard that song in forever. The song's fine. But man, high school Michael was taken aback, man. She brought it, dude. I loved her. How was she not as big of a star?
You had the poster over there on the ceiling, over the bed.
Okay, I'm not saying that she's the hottest, because I will say this: the girls from In Vogue were hotter.
Hey, man, no doubt, no lies detected there, man. I used to like that tall one that they used to have.
The tall one. I used to like the short thickie.
No, man, that tall
Cindy
one.
Williams is also the pretty one.
Yeah, the pretty one, dude. That's the one, man.
Or you know what? Let's have a throwback on that one. Let's have a throwback on that one. We haven't had a Demon Mike segment or a Demon Joe segment in a while. Let's see here. The Never Gonna Get It video from the early 90s. It was like pick your poison as to which one you thought was hotter, right?
The tall one, dude.
You see the tall one? Okay, let's see this video real fast. They were all over the place.
Lord.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Lord.
The En Vogue girls. Cindy Williams was the pretty one, though. The shorty was cute. But Cindy Williams, where's she at? There she is right there.
Yeah, man, that's the one, dude.
Yeah, she was pretty. But, dude, you know what? I'll take the one you don't want. I'll take the one you don't want. Terry Ellis was my girl, says Sam Salinas.
Damn.
Nice. Ishan says Shanice was my huge crush back in the day. So I knew that, you know what? You were a man of sophisticated taste, Ishan.
Damn, they're going back here. They said Antonio Cromartie.
He had like 14 kids.
Damn.
Joe, these were the most iconic skirts of the 1990s. And they were talented. All 4 of them could sing. They're a trio now. What's going on? That was yours, Joe, the tall one?
Yeah, man. Terry Ehrlis was my girl. Tony Braxton back in the day.
Oh, dude. Okay, first of all, let's relive that one. Now, I know Unbreak My Heart was a great song enough, but the He Wasn't Man Enough for Me video with the girl from Tisha Campbell is also in the video. Dude.
Like, what are we watching, bro?
I have no idea.
What are you doing, Mike? Yeah, we can't be playing the music, man. You gotta put that on mute.
Tony Braxton. That wasn't the song. You're Making Me High is the song I was thinking of. That was a great music video, dude. That was when they're doing like the ranking of 1 to 10. You think that guys are cochinos, right? But when they're ranking the dudes coming in the elevator. Tisha Campbell, right? That's from Martin, right?
Yeah, Martin.
Dude.
I used to like the characters he used to do, man. That Shanae was funny, man.
Shanae.
And then the old man that he used to play in that series too. That was funny, dude.
Tony Braxton was a straight up 10 in this video, dude. Tony Braxton brought it. She lost her Grammys, man. She went bankrupt and she had to sell her Grammys.
Cindy was also in the movie Juice.
Dude, Juice was a great movie. That was Omar Epps, right?
Yeah. Tony Braxton, definite nugget.
Do you believe in the Tony Braxton drama from back in the day that she broke up the Dallas Mavericks because Jason Kidd and Jamal Mashburn were all in love with her? And who's the other one? Jimmy. Oh my God. Was it Run TMC is what they called him? Or that was Golden State.
Yeah. Run DMC you're talking about.
I'm going to look this up real fast. So for the young people over here, Toni Braxton was a pop star who won Grammys back in the day. She was like the new artist of the year. But back in the day, it was believed that you had certain players, Jim Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, and Jason Kidd, all in love with her. And it's believed that that potential team right there was broken up because they had a thing for her. Look at this photo, dude. Back in the day, dude. Did Toni Braxton break up this team?
Jeez. Jamal Mashburn, man. That's the name of somebody I hadn't seen in a long time, man.
Dude, that was a great looking team right there. It was kind of like OKC when they had Harden, Westbrook, and Durant.
Yeah.
Like before them, you had this trio of young players. Jason Kidd, who's now head coach of that team that he played for back in the day. Jim Jackson. Toni Braxton breaking them up.
Look at that. Saw in Vogue and Tone at SeaWorld back in their heyday. Braxton Family Values, pioneering reality show.
Yeah. I can't stand reality TV, man. Like that type of reality TV.
Nah, man. My wife likes watching what's it called? Kardashians, dude. I'd stay clear of that nonsense. I'm out.
Did you see Jerry Jones getting dissed by Peyton Manning yesterday?
No, I didn't see
There
that.
was some sort of country music awards, the CMAs yesterday. He takes a shot at according to TMZ Sports, a shot at Jerry Jones. Apparently, the Cowboys are the laughing stock. They were doing a monologue with Lainey Wilson and Luke Bryan. And they took a jab at Jones because they were talking about a song called Cowboys Cry 2. And Peyton Manning says, yeah, well, enough about Jerry Jones. Man, when Cowboys are making fun of the Cowboys, there's a problem.
Yeah. That is an issue.
I wonder how Project Marvel's looking right now. Let's update the poll. Do we want to have Project Marvel here in San Antonio? We saw the renderings. And right now, according to my poll, which I posted right before the show, 93 votes in, 83% say yes, go big or go home. 13% saying, well, it depends on who pays. And 4% saying, no, it's too expensive, not needed in San Antonio.
The ones that say it's too expensive and not needed in San Antonio are the same damn people that are going to vote against the light rail system.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to have good things in San Antonio. You don't want to have an easy way to navigate. I'm like, I mean, it's nice to walk. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, it's also nice to be able to go further than what you can walk in the spans of so much time, right? So if you have, let's say you're downtown and you're in that sports district, right? And you're enjoying some time, you're at the far end of the district eating, having some drinks and whatnot. And you want to get to the sports venue, you're going to have to leave super early, right? But if you had a light rail system, jump right on the train and get there in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there are going to be people in San Antonio and all over the place who just don't like progress. Again, the plan, according to Don Harris of News 4 San Antonio of Project Marvel, is a new convention center space, new convention center hotel, new Spurs arena where the Institute of Texan Cultures now sits. Yeah. Massive renovation to the Alamo Dome, a land bridge connecting the Alamo Dome to the Spurs arena, residential space, retail space, park space, John Wood, courthouse transformation, access to a theater and the arena. And we see the rendering right here, Joe. Here it is in big screen here. If that's what the Alamo Dome looks like, and that's what a hotel looks like right next to the arena, Sign me the F up, dude. And it looks like a park being built over 37. What is this? A tunnel?
Land bridge.
I mean, I thought a land bridge would be like
It's a land.
like a strip. This is like a whole. This is like a whole mile's worth of land.
Yeah, that's what a land bridge is. So they're going to build this massive bridge there that's all natural. That's why it's called a land bridge, because it has grass and it's very lush, you know, walkways, pathways, because they also want to make it easy for everyone to get from point A to point B. But I mean, I'm a fan of it. It's nice to have something like that. It makes it unique. Look at how easy it is to get from the Alamo Dome, right, to the sports arena there with the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you had an early game and you're out there and you're watching San Antonio Spurs play and you want to stay and you're like, you know what? I also got tickets for UTSA game.
Yep.
You just walk across, enjoy the tailgate, go in there and watch, make a day of it.
I will tell you this much, Joe. If this is created, all of these houses right here that are owned by people who are lower income, their values go up.
They're not gonna be able to afford the property tax, man.
But they'll be able to sell for top dollar.
Yeah, but the property taxes are gonna go sky high because the value of the home is gonna go up.
Think about, like, look at this rent right here, right? So you've got the Tower of Americas, River Center Mall, you got the hotels, yeah, right? Land Bridge right here. All of this Hayes Street Bridge and all that stuff. All of this is what other companies would want to go to. The Teslas of the world, the HPs, the things in Austin that come around, that would all fill in the gaps right here. This is big league, dude. And if anyone's against it, they're against the city of San Antonio.
That's a big leap for the city there, man. I like it.
$5 super chat coming in from Sam Salinas. Say, my biggest question, why such an ambitious renovation of the dome? Spurs Entertainment revealed their well-hidden cards of getting into the NFL game. Well, remember when we talked about the fact that the Spurs were against the NFL coming here 20 years ago? That was before you had Michael Dell as part of this team, and you had the Austin money. So maybe it changes a little bit. Maybe the attitude does change. But this is beautiful, Joe. And a lot of thought was made into this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at how nice that looks, man. That would be something that San Antonians would be proud of. I mean, we have a sports and entertainment district here, which means that you don't have to travel so far now. Like, you got to go to the Frost Center to go and see a concert venue. You could see that here downtown in this entertainment and sports district, and there's things for you to do.
Imagine what this does to Fiesta.
It'd be a game changer. Can you imagine all the concerts, people that would want to come and play during Fiesta, right? You would have let's say a bigger plethora of talent that wants to come play here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, can you imagine having a headlining act at La Semana Alegre, you know, and you having it here in the heart of downtown San Antonio in this new entertainment venue?
Lots of comments coming in. Thank you to Jesse A, Mario Cavazos, Hannah Fist, Tony Ornelas.
Tony Ornelas saying there's a lot of national events that are at the Alamo Dome, NCAA bowl game, March Madness, Final Four, headline concerts, and that's why.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have the March Madness coming in next year, right? Final Four again. They love San Antonio, but they've also said this is like the last time. They've also said we need more.
Yeah, they need to have the facilities updated because, look, man, they have a nice media area at the Alamo Dome. I'm not going to lie about that. But the problem is that it's still a bit dated. You know, you still need to make some renovations and improve it. This would be an upgrade.
The Alamo Dome opened up 30 years ago. This would be 40 years into the Alamo Dome, right? It needs to be renovated or torn down. One of the two.
Yeah.
Being left up there looking like the Astrodome does not work.
You know what we're going to do? The NCAA's come in here, right? The Final Four. You know what happens during that time of year? They also have some nice concerts, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think me and you and some of the Nestials, we're going to have to throw that out there, that announcement, and be like, if we're going to go to a concert, we got to get there extra early.
Yeah.
And they have like a Buffalo Wild Wings, like a portable one, right? Where they have a tent over it. It's nice, high tables that you can sit on. And they let you stay there as long as you're buying and drinking.
Yeah, last
mean-
time they had the Final Four here, I went there with my daughter and my nephews, and we saw Maroon 5, One
Imagine
Republic.
Dragons. Yeah, we
Imagine
saw
Dragons,
the
yeah.
same book groups you did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very, very cool, man. Everyone, let's see how this Project Marvel thing pans out, whether or not there is support from City Council. We'll find out later on today. Spurs back in action tonight against the Utah Jazz, trying to get back to 500. No Victor Wembanyama, but I fully expect, again, here comes the jinx. They will be at 500 by tomorrow when we talk about this. Everyone have a fantastic day. If you want to yell at me, I'll be refereeing again tonight. I have no idea where. Oh, I'm at Pease Middle School. Just down the street.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be available because I'm going to be at that work venue on the other side
Yeah.
of town from 6 to 9.
I have a work meeting I need to get off to. That's why I was dressed up today. So everyone have a fantastic day. Go Spurs, go. And you know what? Let's invest in the city, man. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. We'll see you boys tomorrow. We're out. Peace,
Thank
man.
you for the super chats.